Stick talk. 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 Stick talk.
And hockey.
Yes, sir.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back. This is episode 10 of Stick Talk Hockey. I'm your host, Tiko Raspy. This is my co-host.
I'm YoursTrilly.
We're back for another episode here. We had a great week in the hockey world. Canada took home the gold, baby. Great win over Czechia. The U.S. takes home bronze in a crazy game against the Swedes. And Czechs go home with silver. Shout out to them. It's been awesome.
Oh, God, what a tournament. Absolute nail-biter for the gold.
Yeah.
A barn burner for the bronze.
Yeah.
I missed a lot of the bronze. I was working. That sucked, but I caught the end of it. I snuck off. I was just enjoying that on the stream.
Yeah, fair enough. Shout out to Halifax, man. What a host city. It looked fantastic there.
Oh, absolutely. The fact they were able to keep the ice in the condition they were for so long, considering the circumstances, how quick they had to get it all together.
Yeah.
The amount of use that each rink was seeing with the lack of like a third facility that you would sometimes see otherwise.
Mm-hmm.
It was just phenomenal. They did great.
Yeah, they did great. The fans were fantastic.
The ice crew was great.
It was awesome. It was just an awesome event.
Yeah, reffing was excellent.
Yeah, absolutely.
Officiating was fair. It was
book.
Well done. Yeah.
To the book, 100%.
Absolutely.
That was, some questionable calls at times, but that's okay.
Yeah, but for the most part, it was like you weren't like belly aching every game. It was like, it went both ways.
The only thing, I like that now they don't do shootouts for the gold. They still do it for bronze, but no shootout in the gold medal game. However, we still got 3-on-3.
I hate it. I absolutely hate this. It pissed me off. What a way to ruin a game.
Yeah.
Holy shit. You're going to give us 5-on-5, 60 minutes of world-class hockey. You're going to be the world premier tournament, and then you're going to go into just get it over with hockey.
Yeah.
That's what 3-on-3 is. It was established so that we could get regular season games over with faster.
Right.
We wanted to go home, and we didn't want to see it end in a shootout all the time.
Yeah.
But
I think that, like, it is exciting. Like, I know a lot of people do really, really enjoy the 3-on-3 because it can be really exciting. But yeah, I mean, for a finals win in such a major tournament, especially, you need to play the game the right way. You need to have it be real hockey.
Yeah, for a gold medal, I don't know. It doesn't feel right. And I don't think it's a true litmus test of who's the best team by having like 3 serviceable players get a good bounce.
I agree.
Like Team Canada, as a huge fan of hockey and of Team Canada, didn't do anything that special when they scored that goal.
Yeah.
If it was 5-on-5, they might have had to do something a little more, and they might have deserved it a little more.
Yeah.
But the fact that the defender made a fairly basic play, knocked it off the stick, made a smart play off the boards to the defender for a 2-on-1. It's like,
yeah.
It felt wrong. It felt dirty. It felt cheap.
Yeah. It's not the way a tournament like that should end.
No. And especially for the Czechs who battled so hard. And I would have been just as equally pissed if that goal went in off the stanchion.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, there should be another defender there to bail him out, and that was a good play. It's not like he should be punished for making the smart play off the boards.
For
like
sure,
that.
For sure.
Like,
I know you were saying during the game, you were like, "I hope Canada doesn't lose this, so I don't have to sound like I'm belly aching about this."
Yeah, I was so nervous. I was like, "Oh God, please win," so I don't sound like a little
a little sore loser.
Yeah, it's like, God, fuck, just turn the game of hockey into football, European football, soccer. Like, you go from having back and forth, high pressure, you can't make a mistake. If you make a mistake, your teammate better be there. You're all relying on each other to just soccer. You take it in, you take a shot, you collect the rebound, don't like what you see, you skate it all the way back to center, you pass it around, you walk it in, you don't like what you see, you take it back out, then you walk it back in, then you walk it back out, maybe get a shot, and then play a mid and a half on defense because you didn't get it back. And it's like, and then the other team does the same. It's so boring.
Yeah.
It's not hockey. It's not even hockey anymore.
Well, I would disagree with that.
It's
still hockey. It's just not the right hockey.
It's like watching a drill, though. It's just like watching keep away.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like it's like when the coach puts up 4 pylons and says,
entirely.
"Okay, keep away."
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, it can be exciting. It's not the way to end a tournament.
No, it's not exciting in this format. It's not the excitement that we need from a premier international tournament. If you're going to, my thing is, if you're going to adapt international rules and stand by them so aggressively, like on the absolutely zero tolerance hit to the head stuff, I get it. All of the international rules, all the stuff that they uphold, it makes sense. It's fair. It's good.
Okay.
But why are we fidgeting, farting around on the thing that matters most? The deciding goal.
Right.
You're going to uphold international standards until the gold medal game. Why not? If we're already doing a continuous 3-on-3 for 20 minutes, we've already accepted that we're fine with it going a full 20 minutes.
Yeah.
And then if it goes that 20 minutes, we're doing a full flood, taking 18 off and doing another 20.
Yeah.
So why are we not just biting the bullet and doing a 5-on-5?
Well, I think that the IHF thinks that people want to see the 3-on-3. And I think a lot of people do. I just think it's the wrong way to go about it.
Yeah, and we see enough 3-on-3 in every other format already. We saw it in like, it's fine. The round robins were great. Leave it there.
Yeah, absolutely. It's great for round robins. And I'm fine with the shootout in the round robins too.
Yeah.
But yeah, in the finals, let them play real hockey. Either way, overall, fantastic tournament. I would have been really happy either way, honestly. Like, obviously, I wanted Canada to win. I'm Canadian, but I'm also Czech. So I would have loved to see the Czechs win. It was a great story. First medal for them since 2005, I believe, and they deserved it. They played their hearts out.
Absolutely. There was a part of me that really wanted them to seal it off, but
yeah.
God, I've seen that story too many times as a Canada fan.
Yeah.
The bars, the dings, the close calls, and then the 2 cheese goals.
Yeah.
First one, you're like, yeah, okay, fair. Second one, you're like, ah, Christ.
Yeah.
Hockey gods are knocking.
Yeah. It was a great tournament all around. And I'm already excited for next year. I'm sad this is the last time I'm going to get to cheer for Bedard till he's in a Team Canada jersey again. But still, it was fantastic.
Yeah, and how fitting for Shane Wright to get that goal too.
Right? Yeah.
Right?
Right?
Yeah, just battling through it. It's already been reassigned. He's going to spend some time in the juniors, but that's totally okay.
Yeah.
And I think it's going to be great for him moving forward. I think that's the kind of thing that he really needed to put some wind back in his sails, because let's face it, it feels like being scratched and playing 7 minutes.
How much of a nightmare is Dylan Guenther being Canada's hero when, I don't know if you knew this, Dylan Guenther is the pick that we traded for OEL and Connor Garland.
I did not know that.
Connor Garland is now our 4th line winger, getting paid $6 million. OEL is getting paid $9 million for the rest of eternity. And Dylan Guenther is a Canadian hero.
God, it just fits the saga so perfectly. I did want to bring up Guenther and his performance, so that's fantastic. What a segue.
Yeah. All right, well, World Juniors are over. That's about it. We're getting back into the NHL stuff. There's been a lot of buzz around the trade world these days. Things are starting to heat up. The trade deadline is going to be coming pretty quick. The roster freeze over the holidays is over. And it looks like a lot of teams are wanting to get active here.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to be a sleepy year in the chill like we've seen in years past.
Yeah. We're coming out of the flat cap era now. It's supposed to rise this year. I think a lot of teams are ready to go.
Yeah, and I think a lot of teams that aren't ready to go are willing to swallow caps so that the teams that are ready to go can go.
Yeah.
It's I've heard that there's going to be trades where there's very serviceable players that are being traded for next to nothing.
Absolutely.
And it's just going to be a strict cap move.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we've already been seeing that so far this year. I mean, like past calendar year, I should say. You look at like Pacioretty and Brent Burns and things like that. Very serviceable NHL players that were basically given away.
Yep. And it almost makes you wonder who Vegas is going to throw under the bus. And
yeah.
use as a sweet little speed bump this year.
I do wonder if Vegas really does much though. They're humming.
Yeah, but Vegas doesn't really like they're if there's someone better, they're just gonna do it.
Yeah, they're not known to sit still. That's for sure.
Yeah, I could see it happening for sure.
That's kind of their downfall. I think a lot of the time. I think right now they shouldn't do anything because they've been so good. I feel like that Vegas. I don't know if it's their ownership or their management. They're very grass is always greener, and yeah, I think it hurts them in the long run that they're always like, whoa, what is this guy? It's like, dude, you are the top team in the Pacific. Ride it out.
Yeah, calm down. Just let it happen.
Yeah. Anyways, we want to talk about Jake McCabe a little bit. There's been a lot of rumors swirling around about him. The fourth period was saying Kings, Rangers, Oilers, Senators all could be good fits for him.
Yeah, you know what? I could see a lot of these teams being viable options. I don't see the Rangers so much. I think I would be an interesting fit for them, but I don't think the Rangers need a defenseman. I think what the Rangers need is another second liner, another top 9 forward even, just someone that they can move through their second or third line and keep the scoring consistent.
Yeah, they need yeah, I agree with that. They definitely need some more forward depth that can control play at even strength.
Yeah, as great as having Kreider and Panarin is, they aren't going to completely control the flow of the game. They're not Draisaitl and McDavid. They're fantastic players.
Yeah.
But they're not Draisaitl and McDavid.
Right.
They're not quite Marchand and Pasternak.
Yes.
Or Berge even. They're not going to control it the same.
I could definitely see the Oilers being very aggressive. They need something. They might miss the playoffs. They are like seriously, they have a couple years left of window and they're not even in a playoff spot. This is I think things are getting dire in Edmonton.
But do you think that the Oilers situation is more a product of their lack of serviceable goaltending or their lack of defense around the goaltending?
Bit of both. Like column A, column B.
Which one would you attack first if you were in that situation though? Like
I think it's easier. Well, maybe not easier. I think it's more realistic to address the defense. I think there's some defenders available at this deadline. I could see them being in on Jake McCabe. I could see them being in on Luke Shen. Goaltending is so tough to do around the deadline. You bring in a goalie, it's going to take them 2-3 months to get used to the D system. It's a massive gamble. Whereas I think there's some defenders out there that you could latch onto that would bolster your blue line almost immediately.
I don't think that there's enough. I think there's too many holes for a patch to solve too much. Like if you have 3 leaks in a boat, like patching one of them is still going to make you sink.
Yeah, but I mean, you have to do something. Like at this point, it's like you have a few years left of McDavid and Draisaitl before McDavid's going to make $20 million a year or something absolutely insane. It doesn't matter if it fixes it. You got to do something.
Yeah. I mean, this, not to shit on anyone, but these defensive pairings look rough.
It's a problem when Cody Ceci is on your top pairing. That's a problem. As I don't mean to hate on the guy, but that's an issue.
Well, look at Darnell Nurse too. It's getting $8 million. 9, my bad.
Yeah,
wow.
He makes McCarr money, and that's gotta hurt.
That's disgusting.
I mean, what are you gonna do? I guess if you're Edmonton, you have to pay your top end, your number 1 defenseman. If you don't have a McCarr, you got to pay your number 1 defenseman. He's your number 1 defenseman.
I don't know.
It's a bad number 1. I'm not trying to say bad, but it's not a top end number 1 defenseman at all. But he is their number 1.
My thing is that as much as there's power to the players right now, there's still a lot of power in just the team paying the players.
Right.
I think they would have been just as well off to just say, "Get no, absolutely not. You're not getting 8 or 9. You're getting 4, or we can do a deal." But someone will want you that's not us.
Yeah.
But
then what do they do?
There's always defensemen.
How bad is that
going
group
to
without
cross.
Darnell Nurse?
There's always defensemen that are going to be crossing free agency or on the trade deadline. I mean, look at Sami Vatanen. He was still available.
Yeah, I think Nurse is a better defender than Sami Vatanen.
I don't know. I don't know about that one.
No?
I feel like I would like. I feel like Sami Vatanen's the safer play, and Darnell Nurse is more of like an impactful player.
I think like Sami Vatanen's a bottom 4 defenseman.
No.
Yeah.
But
Darnell Nurse is a bona fide top 4 defenseman. He's not who I'd want as my number 1 defenseman for sure, but he is a top 4 defenseman for sure.
yeah, he's not the guy that I would lean on and give 9. Like
No.
I feel like you have to set an example as management.
Mm-hmm.
Like take a look at Boston and how they've managed everything.
Yeah, Boston is the like premier internal cap team.
Like,
But even then, they're gonna have to break it this year with Pasta. They
yeah,
will.
but that's fair. That's totally
Yeah,
okay.
Pasta's different.
That's different.
Yeah.
That's a different league of pay.
It's
But-
also very different when you're a team as good as Boston.
But I mean, like, Edmonton is almost as good as Boston. The difference is that
Nah, bro.
they have. Let me finish. They have 4 to 5 of the highest caliber players you can in Nuge, in McDavid, in Draisaitl,
McDavid and Draisaitl.
and I don't know. I talk shit the rest of the team, so like I don't know.
Yeah,
Maybe
McDavid and Draisaitl, bro.
yeah, okay, but
Nah, he's not getting out of this. He's not getting. He just said the Oilers are almost as good as the Boston Bruins. He's not working his way out of it.
The difference is that Boston had the ability to tell Jake McCabe to go fuck himself, or not Jake McCabe. Who?
I
Krug.
can't remember.
It was Krug.
one of their
It was
one of
Krug.
their guys on the back end.
Krug. He went to the Blues.
Oh yeah. Toy Krug. Yeah.
Yeah, he wanted 9. They said get fucked, and he said okay, fuck you, and he went to the Blues. And you know what? It still looks like a bad deal.
Mm-hmm.
The Blues, I'm sure that they're going to regret that in another year or two.
Probably.
Like I don't see that working in the same way. It's the exact same situation. It's just that one team had a spine and put their foot down and said, "You know what? Even if it means 2 years of suffering, we will find something better in the back end that will provide us a stronger foothold."
The Bruins had leverage though. The Bruins had a core that had won a Stanley Cup, and they had the ability to say, "Hey, look, we have a great team here. We can't afford to give you this without breaking up this team." When you are a trash team, you are trying to get them to stay.
I mean, Edmonton has a Hulk though.
As a what?
A Hulk. It's a Marvel reference. Never mind.
Get out of here. Get out of here, Trill. No,
Also-
like Edmonton has nothing. They have 2 of the best players in the world, of course, but no success, no ability to say, "Hey, look what we're building here."
I mean, Hyman's having a great year.
Hyman's a good pickup for them. And Nugent Hopkins is a good player as well.
Yeah, like that's
On a good contract.
like Derek Ryan's not a terrible player either, and at 1-2, that's fine. Janmark, I don't know about that one. Holloway, you know what?
But when you got a guy, when you look at that D group, especially when they're signed that contract, when you look at that D group and you have a guy that's playing like 30 minutes a night, leading your team in defensive scoring, and the rest of his defensemen around him are absolute plugs, you have to pay him.
I still don't.
I don't think
you
he's worth it. But what do you? I don't know if you're the Oilers what you're supposed to do in that situation.
He's 27, making 9.2 for the next 6 years.
Till when? Till 2030.
That's insane.
It's a rough contract.
That's insane.
Either way, though, that's enough on this saga. They got to do something.
Yeah, they could have even taken Edler. Edler was available, and he
Yeah.
still looks great in LA.
Well, no, he doesn't.
He's doing okay.
He's doing all right. He gets burned all the time, though.
Oh.
He's so slow.
Well, he's serviceable.
You remember when we played NHL and you rocked the defenseman build that was too slow? And you're just getting turnstile 24/7?
Yes.
Yeah, that's what Edler looks like.
Oh.
When he's even healthy. And hey, I love Alex Edler. Absolute legend. I mean, no disrespect on Alex Edler's name, but he's a little bit past his prime, and that's okay. We all get there.
Anyways, I'm planting my heels. Edmonton
Yeah.
could be in a much better situation. They
Yeah.
could be in a Boston-like situation if they just swallowed their pride and made something make sense rather than forcing it.
Yeah, I mean, Edmonton's been a hotspot for bad deals for a long time. I think that the Nuge deal is their only one that looks really fantastic, and Draisaitl, I guess. But yeah, they're in for a tough run here.
Yeah, I just don't see like that Darnell Nurse contract's going to look worse and worse and worse every
Absolutely.
year, and it
Absolutely
already
it
looks
is.
bad.
It
So
already is bad, yeah.
yeah, and that's really like I know you have to sign your top guy, but like
Yeah.
you don't. If it's going to mean that you're taking out $8 million from your cap window
Yeah.
over the McDavid Draisaitl era,
Yeah.
to have spotty D at best sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
No.
No, I understand. I understand that for sure. I get why. I totally get why they did it. I still think you're an absolute lunatic for saying the Oilers are almost as good as Boston. That's the most actually backwards thing I think I've ever heard you say on this podcast.
I'll stand by it.
But keeping on them for a second. Puljujärvi. Yes, Puljujärvi. What's happening here, man? What's happening?
I think that he's a player that's just been in the wrong spot for too long.
Yeah.
And
that's fair.
like I think that it's been time for a new place for a long time. He hasn't had a good stint in Edmonton.
No.
And they haven't really done anything to help him either. Like it's really easy to piss down a rope at someone and be like, "Oh, you're not doing enough." But what have you done to put him in a situation to make him perform?
I mean, he played what 70 games last year, 65 games. I thought they gave him a pretty good opportunity last year, and he was okay. He looked good at points last year, but I don't know. It just never. It always seems to fall back to not working.
Yeah, I mean, there's like different approaches, but I mean, like, take a look at Pittsburgh. Brian Rust wasn't always on Sidney Crosby's line, but they stuck Brian Rust on Sidney Crosby's line for a good 40 games.
Yeah.
And he almost became a point per game scorer.
Yeah. Yeah.
When was the last time you saw Puljujärvi get a shot with a McDavid Draisaitl line or on any of those lines with any quality player? They're always sticking him on a fourth line.
Last year he was playing with McDavid for a while.
Yeah, and he actually put up 36. So, like, there's...
I don't know if I think that this is like a misstep on the Oilers' part. Sometimes I think guys just don't mesh.
Yeah,
I think that's really what's happening here.
I don't think it's entirely on the Oilers, and I also don't think it's as much on Puljujärvi as they make it seem.
Yeah,
like he seems like such a black sheep in the farm right now, just across the whole league. No one's interested.
Yeah.
It's all bad. Da 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 da. I think there's a lot of teams where if he went there, they could probably turn it around.
Yeah, I agree with that. How much is he making right now? $3 million. He's got. Oh, is he expiring?
Yeah,
$3 million on an expiring deal. Yeah, I'm a little bit surprised to hear the reports on how few teams are interested in him. Honestly, I think he's a great gamble.
Yeah, absolutely. And I wouldn't even be mad if the Devils went out and grabbed him.
Yeah,
yeah. That's a serviceable player that you could add to your fourth at worst, third, and make it happen.
Mm-hmm. He's had, and like the thing with Puljujärvi is sometimes you watch this guy and he looks electric, and sometimes you watch him and he doesn't. But he's young. He's 20. He's still only 24 years old. I don't know, man. I would be fine as a lot of GMs, I think, in the league should be fine taking a gamble on a guy like that. That was a first overall pick, still a lot of offensive upside, and
6'4", 201.
Yeah.
It's a big dude.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, a lot of the things that Edmonton complains about are things that are fixable.
Right.
It's just lost in translation.
I mean, my big caveat here is it depends, I guess, a ton on what the Oilers want for him.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't look like... I've heard that this is for sure his last season with Edmonton, period.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
So they aren't like going to get that much for him with that being out already.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because if I'm a GM looking in that situation, I can be like, you can give me him now and I can give you a fifth, or you could just leave him and we'll sign him for 2.
Right. And that's the thing, right? Like, I think that maybe that's what's going on here rather than teams just not wanting him entirely. They're going, why would I pay you for him right now when I'll get a shot at him in the offseason?
Yeah. Yeah, I think that that's entirely it. And I think that he's just getting a bad rap right now. I wanted to say that there's a lot of teams that it would make sense for him to play on.
I agree.
And I don't think it would be a stretch. I think he would play well in Carolina too.
Yeah, I could see that working.
Yeah, there's a couple really great teams that come to mind right off the bat where it's like, you know what? Like, that makes sense.
Yeah.
That could look really good.
He'll be a great gamble on a 1-year contract next year. And then hopefully it works and he can make some real money after that.
Yeah, I feel almost the exact same way about Puljujärvi as I did about Lehkonen 2 years ago.
Right.
In Montreal. We were all like, wow, what a waste of a career. This sucks. Like, he was supposed to be something.
Yeah.
You move him to a team worth half a damn and all of a sudden he's electric again.
Yeah.
He's putting in big goals.
Absolutely. Okay, a couple more things here. First of all, just wanted to say rest in peace to Blake Wheeler's nut. That man ruptured his testicle the other night, and the craziest part about that is he played out the rest of the game.
I would have left.
That I would have retired. That's nah, dude. Shout out to you, man. I hope you're okay, brother. And he said he's okay with it because he's already had his kids. Good for you, man.
That's good at least.
Heartwarming.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, because like I felt pain when I read that.
Yeah, that's.
Anyways,
I could never.
No. Anyways, moving forward, the All-Star voting came out. Well, not the All-Star voting, the All-Star nominees, one from each team, and now they're doing the fan vote. So we're gonna go through the selections and do our votes as well.
Let's vote.
Let's vote. Yeah, let's do this first. We got the Metro Division up first. Let's take a look here. So already confirmed from the Rangers, we got Shesterkin. From the Hurricanes, we have Andrei Svechnikov. From the Blue Jackets, Johnny Gaudreau. From the Devils, Jack Hughes.
Yeah, baby.
From the Islanders, Brock Nelson.
What?
From the Flyers, All-Star Kevin Hayes.
Benched.
Also, yeah, that's amazing. Could you imagine? Like, you get benched, you become an All-Star, and then your coach is like, I don't give a shit about the All-Star game.
I wanted to talk about this because holy Christ, what a saga.
Crosby from the Penguins, Ovi from the Caps. That leaves some big names out here. I mean, Panarin, Zibanejad, Barzal, Adam Fox, Jesper Bratt, Nico Hischier. Well, I think we gotta vote Panarin.
Yeah, we'll take Panarin. It feels wrong not to have him. Pull up Konechny. He's operating at over a point a game. 40 points, 33 games, 20 goals, 20 assists. That's an instant yes if we're going Panarin with 10 and 30.
All right. Let's do it.
Yeah, I mean, he's -6 so hey.
Who are you taking for the Tendy?
Can we filter by position?
We got to take Sorokin. I mean, Kemper's a maybe. He's been really good for the Washington Capitals, but I mean, Sorokin's having a hell of a year, dude.
Yeah, he is. It's hard. What are his stats again? Like, can we just pull those up real quick for everyone at home? 30 games played, 66 goals against, 14 wins, 9.24 and a 2.2.
He's been fantastic. Okay, on to the Atlantic. We got Olmark from the Bruins, Tage Thompson from Buffalo, Dylan Larkin from the Red Wings, Kachuk from the Panthers, Suzuki from the Habs, Kachuk from the Senators, Cooch from the Lightning, Mitch Marner from the Leafs. I mean,
Austin,
this is probably the worst All-Star team of the group, but...
Yeah, I was going to say, Austin, how do you feel about Suzuki being taken over Caulfield? Yeah, Habs fan takes Caulfield.
Habs fan takes Caulfield. There's a lot of names missing on this list. I mean, Matthews is not in. Pasternak's not in. Dahlin's not in.
I mean, Mitchie with the heater, though, you can't ignore that. If you're taking one
No.
like, yeah.
I totally understand it. I just think the format of a player per team is ridiculous when things like this happen.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, entirely. I agree.
Like, you're going to tell me Dylan Larkin is an all-star and Austin Matthews isn't? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's just a joke.
Yeah. Well, throw Matthews in there. Matthews passed it without a doubt. How the fuck is Pasta not in this?
I know, and it's got to be Matthews and Pasta. Pick them.
Yeah, there's we don't even have to go into the stats
No.
on this. Like, let's.
I mean, and it's a shame too because I think Darlene should be there as well this year. But
I agree, and I think just for the sake of like, I think I did put Darlene in my picks just for balance.
yeah, totally. But it's got to be those two, and then sort by the goalies there, because this is a pretty weak goaltending division. Holy cow! I mean, Murray's been really good. I think it's gotta be Vasilevsky.
It has to. I took Vasi. The other one that was maybe a mention was Huso.
Yep, definitely. That's a pretty good mention. Craig Anderson, 49 years old or whatever the shit he is, having a great year. Good for him.
He is, but I mean, like, it's got to be Vasi. I looked at all the stats and like,
it's just it's got to be, and he is the all-star. I mean, like, at the same time, you have to, like, I don't know. I think at an all-star game, you want to have the best of the best, not just having the hot season.
Yeah, it's also like, as much as I don't agree with name brand players, as we would call them.
Yeah.
If I was building a team, I like to have like 4 to 5 name brands and then a bunch of depth players where you're like,
Sure. Sure.
Yeah, like I love my Tatars and my whoever the shit. Tatar.
Hell yeah.
You know, all those
is one of the best.
Yeah, you at an all-star game, you got to go brand name.
Yeah.
Especially like we're talking about the NHL. We've so much about the NHL not making enough money, fumbling their sponsorships, fumbling their prime times.
Yeah.
You have a big time deal with ESPN now. You're getting the most looks you've ever gotten on Winter Classics through this deal.
Yeah.
You have to
put the big dogs out.
Put the big dogs out there and show everyone what this sport is about at the highest of calibers.
I agree. Let's move on to the next one then. Central. We got Saros from the Nashville Predators, the Arizona Coyotes, who should be exempt from the All-Star game, give Clayton Keller. Chicago Blackhawks, Seth Jones, okay. Colorado Avalanche, Cale Makar. No surprises there. Jason Robertson from the Dallas Stars, no surprises. Also, Kirill Kaprizov from the Minnesota Wild, Vladimir Tarasenko from the Blues, and Josh Morrissey from the Jets.
Morrissey, I love to see it.
Yes,
that's fantastic.
There's a lot of good players missing out here too. I mean, Nathan McKinnon. Anyone?
Yep, that was the first one that jumped to mind instantly. But like, if we're going 1 from 1, you got to go Makar. He's just been
absolutely.
He's just been the most dominant defenseman in the league.
Roman Josi.
Yeah, Kane's missing. The Kane is the one where I'm like head scratching. I'm like, you're gonna give it to Jones over Kane, or I don't know.
Yeah, I mean Kyle Connor too, Brandon. And like, there's a lot of guys here. I mean, you got to think it's McKinnon, right?
Yeah, you have to give McKinnon the nod. I would go McKinnon Connor on this one, honestly.
I'm fine with that. Let's do it. It's a tough goaltending division too, honestly. I mean, it's got to be Hellebuck though, no?
Yeah, it was Hellebuck for me, without a doubt.
Yeah, I mean Fleury, no. Grice, no.
No, we're not taking Binnington, Austin.
We're never taking Binnington.
All-star. Okay.
I don't know if there's a player like
All-star
Stick Talk
jackass.
Hockey. Stick Talk Hockey has beef with Jordan Binnington.
Confirmed.
We don't like him, man.
Yeah. All-star Jack.
Yeah, no, Connor Hellebuck. That's that. I think that's it. Yeah.
Done. I like it.
And into the Pacific. This one's kind of a no-brainer for me as well. First of all, let's go through them. We got Logan Thompson, the goalie from the Vegas Golden Knights.
Yep.
Troy Terry from the Ducks.
Yep.
Nazem Kadri from the Flames. Connor McDavid from the Oilers.
Yep.
Kevin Fiala from the Kings. Eric Carlson from the San Jose Sharks. Matty Beniers from the Seattle Kraken. And Elias Pettersson from the Vancouver Canucks.
You know, I'm kind of surprised at Fiala over Iafallo.
Yeah, I think that's like close. But I think Fiala's a fine pick.
Yeah, I don't have a problem with it. It just kind of surprised me.
Yeah.
Like
I
I was looking at the LA team and I was like, you know, Iafallo is like a pretty easy nod for me, but
right.
I can see why.
There's some really good players here. You look at Meyer, Hyman, Nuge, Lindholm, Hurdle, Stone. I think for me it's a little bit of a no-brainer here this year in Draisaitl and Horvat.
Yep. Draisaitl, Horvat for sure.
Like the two of them are like leading the league in goals. I'm pretty sure they've been ridiculous.
Yeah,
What
28
does
goals.
Draisaitl have for points? I think he's got 60 already. 60 and 38. Yeah, you gotta be at the All-Star game, dude.
Yeah, it's not even a.
And
not
can you
even
look
close.
at Bo's stats too? I don't actually.
He's got 28 goals.
Something just ridiculous.
Yeah.
28 goals in 38 games. I mean, yeah.
43 points.
And then goalies. This is a bit of an interesting one. No, like it's a no on Jack Campbell for sure. I feel like out of these options, like James Reimer, Jonathan Quick, Martin Jones, I feel like Jacob Markstrom's the best option. Maybe Gibson.
Gibson's had a rough year.
He has.
I mean,
I think the Ducks have had a rough year.
I think I actually did give it to Gibson off the fact that he's playing on such a rough team and had such a comparable stat line to all these other goalies we mentioned. Like Markstrom plays on a strong Flames team.
Well,
he has. Yeah. I mean, they're losing, but they're strong. That's a team that on paper should be doing much better.
They should be better than they are. Yeah, but
I heard a prediction that Sutter was going to get canned by the end of this year. I mean, he's the GM's favorite, so like,
I don't think so.
He's buddies with the GM, so it's not going to happen. But like, I don't know, something's got to give there, and I don't think that like you can put that many players at a coach's disposal and not kind of scratch your head.
He's an Alberta marketing dream.
Yeah,
that whole province adores him.
Ranch man.
Yeah,
a beautiful day.
I know my grandma loves
-40.
Sutter. Yeah.
Milk the cows. Came to work. Still a little snow.
Exactly.
What's 3 feet?
Exactly.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah. Yeah. Let's do. I guess you take John Gibson here.
Yeah, he's on a struggling Ducks team. He only has 7 wins, but he's above 9.
God, do they only have like 4 regulation wins?
Yeah, I've heard that he's on the trade block.
Awful.
That's one of those goalies that will be takeable at the deadline.
Yeah. All right. Well, I guess that's it. That like depressed me. The goaltending in the Pacific.
Yeah, that was tough.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I guess that's the end of that. We got hit continue there. We got Draisaitl, Horvat, Draisaitl. We got Draisaitl, Horvat, Gibson, McKinnon, Connor, Hellebuck, Matthews, Pasta, Vasilevsky, Panarin, Konechny, and Sorokin. I think that's fair.
That's fair. I don't hate it. You know what? I think
we should have just picked the worst players from every team.
We very well could have, but
maybe next week.
Yeah, I mean, we could just, invite the Chicago Blackhawks and the Arizona Coyotes to a stadium series.
Yeah, we could do that.
Be just as good.
I think even just inviting them to the All-Star game is a joke enough.
Yeah.
Anyways.
one from every team, unless you're below average.
Yeah. The All-Star game is kind of stupid, and it's been the same forever. But hey, man, if you deserve to go, I want you to go.
Yeah, I mean, for some people, it's a special experience. Some people really love it. Some guys really like, it's a nice little thing to add to your career.
Yeah,
but as a fan, I can't say that I tune into too many All-Star games. I usually take that week off.
And I love the. We've talked about the Winter Classic. We've talked about a bunch of stuff where it's like, it's not the most serious thing, but it's a fun time. But the All-Star game just isn't. No one, like, most of the guys look like they don't want to be there. The only good part to watch really is the skills competition, which hasn't been the same since we lost, Chara and Weber and all that for the slap shot. But maybe I'll give some of those things a watch, but it's never that meh.
Yeah, I'll probably end up doing something with the lady.
Yeah. Anyways, that's all we got for this week. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Send us in all of your clips. Send us in your comments. Tell us we suck. Tell us we rock. And yeah.
Yeah, that's all I got. Make sure that you tune in to the Stick Talk on the TikTok.
That's right.
We're everywhere that you get your podcasts.
Mm-hmm.
Also, make sure to check the YouTube if you're a visual person. We also have the visuals there.
Yeah. And drop a like, drop a follow, drop a subscribe, all that fancy stuff. And thank you so much, guys. I'm Tiko Raspy.
I'm yours truly.
Keep your head up.
Keep your head up.
Stick Talk. 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 stick